Hello, this is Vladimir from We Design Motion. Today I'm going to show you how to create this stylish retro background animation. We'll build a complete template with flexible controls, so you can generate an endless number of variations, which makes it ideal for client work. Let's get started. First, I'll create a new composition and call it Retro Background. Let's add a new solid layer. Make it square, 1920 by 1920. We'll want some extra space for rotation. Let's call it Background. Add a null object, I'll call it Control. Make it orange. And turn it off. I will be using it a lot, so I'll place it on the right and lock it. That way, the controls stay visible even when another layer is selected. Now select the background layer and add a fractal noise effect. We'll be using a few of these, so let's rename this one to Gradient. Back on the control layer, I'll add a point control and call it Contrast and Brightness. I'll duplicate it and rename the copy to Scale. Let's link the fractal noise values to these controls. Alt-click on the stopwatches and connect each parameter to the corresponding control. When working with point controls, make sure to connect to a single axis control. Just like that. I'll set the contrast to 600, the brightness to -40, the horizontal scale to something really high, like 5000, and finally the vertical scale to 100. Set the noise type to spline and the complexity to 2. This gives us fewer details, which works much better for this kind of background. Get back to the control layer and add a slider control. This one is for the animation velocity. Duplicate it and rename it to Seed. This will be for the random seed control. Alt-click on the evolution stopwatch and type value plus time, multiply 5 multiply, and then link to the animation velocity slider. This way the animation is fully procedural with no keyframes needed. Alt-click on the random seed stopwatch as well, and link it to the seed slider. Type plus index after the value. It's a good habit to do this for the random seeds, because when you duplicate the layer, each copy automatically gets a different seed. Let's set the seed to 100 and the velocity to 20. I'll run a quick preview just for a couple of seconds. So far, so good, and it renders really fast. Add a transform effect to the background layer. Set the scale to 115. We'll be adding rotation, and scaling up helps avoid visible edges. Select the control layer and add an angle control. Let's call it Rotation. Alt-click on the rotation parameter and link it to the control. Let's set it to 60. Next, I'll add a slider control for the distortion amount and another point control for the distortion offset. Select the background layer and add a CC lens effect. Alt-click on the center stopwatch, type plus after the value, and link to the offset control. Next, type 500- for the size parameter, then link to the distortion amount control and type multiply 4. I do this because I prefer keeping controls in the 0 to 100 range. It makes converting After Effects comps into Premiere Pro motion graphics templates much faster. Let's set the offset to 0 and the amount to 40 for now. Looks good. Now let's add some color. I'll add 3 color controls to the control layer. Let's put them on top. This will be the first thing to change when creating another variation of the background. Select the background layer and add a CC toner effect. Link the 3 active colors to the controls. Let's set the colors to some retro palette. soft peach for the highlights, bright coral for the midtones, and dark red for the shadows. Let's tune it a bit more. You can use almost any color combination for this kind of 3-color tint. Get back to the control layer and add a dust amount control. Switch to the background layer and add another fractal noise effect. Call it Dust. Set the contrast to 800, brightness to -350, scale to 25. Alt-click on the evolution stopwatch and type time multiply 2500. Now let's link the random seed parameter to the seed control. I'll add index here as well. And the opacity parameter, link it to the dust amount slider. Set it to 40. Don't forget to change the noise blending mode to Add. That gives us a nice, grungy dust layer on top of the gradient. Select the control layer and add a slider for the grain. Add another fractal noise effect and rename it to Grain. Set the scale to 5 and the evolution to time multiply 1000. Again, let's link the random seed and the opacity parameters. Set the grain amount value to 50 and change the blending mode to Overlay. This helps the colors blend together with a rough grain texture. Let's see how it looks. Perfect! Using a single control layer, you can adjust all the important parameters of the animation: colors, gradient settings, scale, velocity, and of course randomness. Using a setup like this makes the whole process much smoother, especially when you're working under tight deadlines. Instead of rebuilding backgrounds from scratch, you can adjust a few controls and get a fresh result in seconds. It's particularly useful when a project needs multiple variations that still feel consistent. By the way, if you would like to grab more ready-to-use templates like this, check the Ultimate Motion Freebie. It is a free pack of premium templates for After Effects and Premiere Pro. It's packed with more killer designs just like this one. Check the link in the description. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, and happy creating!